Today we're going to be talking about the best tactics to use while playing on fast hard courts. But before we jump into the video, do not forget to like and subscribe. We are on our way to 10,000 subs, and in fact, we are doing a giveaway right now. If we get to 10,000 subscribers by December 31st at midnight, there will be a winner that will receive this Head Speed Pro racket of mine. We have just put a short out, which was yesterday as of today. So please go check out the YouTube short that shares all the details that's needed to complete for the challenge to enter for your chance to win. So yes, today we're gonna be going through some tactics that will help you play better tennis and win more matches out on court. And also, at the end of the video, we're gonna be talking about 3 of my favorite rackets for fast court tennis. So my racket nerds, please stick around. So first, let's just talk about indoor tennis in general. It's much different than typical hard court, medium paced, or clay for that matter. I've been, you could say lucky, I've played on fast indoor courts all of my life. My college career has been on some very fast indoor courts. The YMCA that we play at school is extremely fast, probably some of the faster tennis courts I've ever played on. I've also grown up on a lot of hard court my whole life, so I feel like I have a good experience to tell you guys and to help you guys play better on this type of surface. And as we know, on fast courts, there's lower bounces, the points are generally shorter, and overall just a faster pace. When it comes to benefits, it's inside, right? So there's no wind, there's no sun, the conditions are constant. It's also generally less physical just because you're not outside in that heat and just the conditions are constant. However, there are some challenges, and those challenges include quick pace rallies, shorter points, and just being on your toes more often. You need to be very ready if you're playing in these quick conditions. All right, so now to the tactics. How can you play better tennis and win more matches on a fast hard court? First, let's start with the service. Obviously very important stroke in the game, no matter what surface you're playing on, but you need to serve strategically, especially on fast hard courts. Serves that are going to work more effective on a fast surface are the slice and the flat serve. The kick serve is not going to bounce up as high, so you need to be aware of that. Using a slice serve wide, flat serves on the tee are going to be very effective. Also, using that slice serve into the body to jam them up, that's going to be skidding, it's going to be moving through the court fast, is going to probably give you a short reply, which then you can attack off your forehand or even your backhand if you enjoy hitting that off the first ball. On the flip side, we'll talk about the return. It's generally a better idea to try and take returns early, even though it might be tough though, but taking the return early can benefit you a lot. If you hang back all the way at the baseline, it might not work out as well because just the ball picks up so much pace and skids, so that reaction period is definitely a tough one to get a good rip on the ball. If you're able to take it early, it takes that time away from them as well. You see like a lot of guys at Wimbledon, they're not normally standing all the way back at the fence or at the tarp there, where if you look on clay, guys can generally step back, really rip the high and heavy return. Also on slower hard courts, you see like Medvedev and these guys, they stand so far back. But on faster courts, it doesn't work as well. You still see guys do it, but it's just not as effective. You see a lot of guys that use the chip, they take it early. Think about Roger, Dimitrov, even Novak or Sinner. They're just really on that baseline, taking it early. And kind of similar to the return, I talk about taking it early, hitting, lower over the net. That's the same in the rally. You're not gonna see guys stand super far behind the baseline and hit heavy topspin. It's just not as effective because what's gonna happen is the ball is going to actually end up sitting up more for your opponent if you play the heavy spin. I've fallen into that trap personally on the indoor courts that we play at school. If you play too high and heavy on the return in the rally, it's going to bite you in the ass, and then you're going to get burned. So if you play more window 1, low level window 2 with more drive balls, this is going to be way more effective. The ball is going to move through the court. You're going to get short balls off of this, more of an attacking style. It's a little bit risky at times, but it does pay dividends. And of course, we cannot forget the whole taking time away tactic means coming forward to the net. You know, taking volleys, swing volleys, touch field, maybe some drop shots in there too once in a while. Really taking their time away is going to benefit you a lot on a fast court. Like I said, you don't want to be hanging out you know, way behind the baseline. So taking that chance, taking the risk on the short ball to follow it in, close the net, take that time away from them, and really apply pressure. You can also do this by using the serve in volley. This is another great little tactic to use if you're serving well. Maybe even throw in the return in volley. That's not something that's used as much anymore, but definitely something that can be used if you do have a good return, maybe on the two-handed backhand, flatten it out and come in behind it, or maybe even that low knifing chip. And of course, thanks for my racket nerds for still sticking around. What rackets do I think benefit faster play tennis? In my opinion, of course, what rackets would I like to use on faster courts? In general, I would suggest the Blade series, the Speed line, the Radical line, the Pure Strike line. Rackets like those I think will produce better play, and people will like them or gravitate to those types of rackets more on a faster surface. Why? Well, rackets like Babolat Pure Arrows, E-Zones, V-Cores, Wilson Ultras, you're not gonna be able to use what those rackets are best at on those courts. Yes, you might be able to slap it and get more power, but it also might fly out. Those rackets have higher launch angles. You don't need that on a fast court. So, rackets that are really more middle control oriented, so like Blade 1619, maybe the 1820, Speed Pro. You got like Wilson Pro staffs even that are gonna feel great on touch and feel shots. The Pure Strike line I will include in there, and just similar rackets like that. Even my Extreme, like I love that racket to death, but it's not playing its best on a hard court surface that's fast. It plays better on a little bit of a slower hard court and maybe some clay. But of course, I love my racket, so I use it everywhere. But guys, that is gonna be it. Those are my tactics. Those are my racket suggestions for a fast court. And with that, do you guys prefer playing on a fast court or a slower court? Let me know in the comments. And also, do not forget to like and subscribe. You got a chance to win this racket. We are 300 subs out now from 10K. So go to that YouTube short and let's get it done. And someone is gonna get this racket. So, catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.